I wanted to talk to you real quick about if you're going to purchase a home or if you're going to rent a home when you come to Silicon Valley. Many times, the best way to purchase a home in general is going to be to stay there and live there for multiple years. There's been many people who have great wealth and come from great wealth who have said real estate is the best way to make money. And I don't think a lot of those people, I don't think I've ever heard them say real estate is the best way to make money in flipping a home. Sometimes flippers say that, but there's not a lot of people who actually say that who have a lot of money because there's a lot of risk in that. And so that's one of the things that I want to preface when we're talking about how long makes sense to purchase a home and stay in a home, or does it make sense to rent? Either way is totally fine, but everybody's circumstance is different. So what I wanted to show you was three main cities of Silicon Valley, San Jose being one of them, Sunnyvale being another one, and Los Altos and Los Altos Hills being the third. The reason I wanted to use these three main cities is because San Jose is a very large city, kind of has the most affordability in Silicon Valley, one of the cities with most affordability. Sunnyvale is kind of a median city as far as the purchase price and values go of Silicon Valley. And then Los Altos Hills, not quite reaching the echelons, but if you take the average, then you're looking at some pretty heavy numbers. There's no two ways to look at it. So if you look at the average rental price of San Jose, the average rental price of San Jose is $3,732. The average rental price for Sunnyvale is $3,933. The average rental price for Los Altos is $4,624. In San Jose, the average single-family home sells for $1,648,000. So what that means is if you take that home and if you take it 20% off and you have your mortgage in San Jose is going to be $6,295. That's going to be with 20% down and a 4% interest rate. 4% interest rate I'm using as an average. I'm not a loan officer. I don't work for a bank. I'm just using an average. So just to kind of give you an idea. So what makes more sense? To pay the rent of almost $4,000 or to pay the mortgage of over $6,000? And that's not including your taxes and insurance. It's just not. Utilities are going to be in there. You're always going to pay utilities. Typically speaking, sometimes with rent you won't, but typically you will. And so that is going to be one of the questions. Now, the next question becomes when you own the home and you have it over time, how much equity are you going to build? In Silicon Valley, in the Bay Area, that's one of the biggest things that people really do look at is they look at the equity. So owning a home is one thing, and you get to do with the home what you wish typically. But owning the home and building the equity, that's the huge kicker. Over the last 10 months, living in San Jose, if you had purchased a home 10 months ago, you would actually have equity of over $236,000. So that's something to look at. What's also something to look at is the home prices in Sunnyvale. Average home price Sunnyvale is $2,377,000. If you look at the equity, if you purchased in Sunnyvale on average, 10 months ago, you would have purchased for $1,962,000. As of today, the average in Sunnyvale is $2,377,000. The average equity in Sunnyvale over the last 10 months is $414,000. So the question becomes this: how sustainable is this? Is there a bubble? Is the market going to fall apart? What I can tell you is that is not a sustainable average. What I can also tell you is that there's not anything that's going to fall apart. If anything, the values are going to continue to go up. We've seen this before. At what pace? So then the question becomes, how long am I moving to Silicon Valley for? If you're moving here for 2 to 3 years, if you're selling someplace and moving here from someplace else, it makes sense to purchase. So now let's take a look at Los Altos. Let's take a look at the higher price points. If you purchase a home today in Los Altos, your average purchase price today in Los Altos is going to be over $4 million, $4,215,000. If you purchased in Los Altos 10 months ago, you would have purchased for $3,500,000 on average. If you purchase in Los Altos in today's market, you'll be purchasing at $4,200,000 on average. So this is the average home in Los Altos. The difference there and the equity there for somebody who is moving into Los Altos, who moved to Los Altos 10 months ago, the equity difference is over $800,000. If you take and you frame that, again, is it sustainable? No, it's not necessarily sustainable. But is it the market going to fall apart? No, the market's not going to fall apart. Do you have to purchase to move to Silicon Valley? Is somebody judging you because you rent? No. And if they're judging you, they have their own issues. But you can move to Silicon Valley and you can rent for a much smaller monthly payment. You can move to Silicon Valley and you can purchase for a much higher monthly payment. If you purchase, you will have the ability to own the home, and you're also going to be building your family's wealth over time. And that is really what we are looking at when people are purchasing a home. There's many different reasons to purchase a home. This kind of gives you a snippet of what people can understand and what people can do when they do purchase. And I did forget to tell you. So the monthly payment of the mortgage on the $4 million purchase price on average for Los Altos, the average monthly payment is going to be over $16,000. So on the purchase price of Los Altos, the average monthly payment, again 4%, is going to be at $16,000 a month. And that's just for the mortgage itself. That's 20% down. It's not counting the tax and insurance. For Sunnyvale, the average monthly payment for the mortgage is going to be $9,082 a month. So these are all wonderful things and wonderful numbers. I'm always happy to talk about real estate. I love real estate. It's what I do, and I really enjoy it. If you want to talk about different cities in Silicon Valley or anywhere else, I'm always happy to have a chat. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime. Have a wonderful day. 408-393-9294. Take care.